Some years ago, I was living in South Africa with my family. So one evening, I was on the way home, leaving Cape Town, driving on the highway N7 in my little car, where suddenly I hit a rusty nail, punctured a tire, and had to stop. So here we go, flat tire in Africa on a highway. I wasn't really prepared for that and didn't know how that's going to end up. I was lucky. There was a fuel station nearby, so I somewhat could roll to it, and already two guys were walking towards me, kind of, hey, how are you, sir? Where is your spare wheel? Very pragmatic. 10 minutes later, the wheels were changed. I had the punctured one back in my trunk. The guys told me I can get it fixed in any garage. I tipped the guys with some South African rands, and they were cool. I was super happy. I kept going towards home. On the way home, I stopped at the town garage in Strand, and 5 minutes later, I had a repaired wheel in my trunk. The guys charged me something like $7 equivalent. I get home maybe 20 minutes later than usually I would, and everything was sorted, all fine, in a great mood. Any idea why I'm telling you this story? Well, you will find out, because after living 2 years in Africa, we moved to the so-called well-developed Western world. And right into the middle, to Brussels in Belgium. And guess what? You can get flat tires in Europe. So I did, bad luck, or bad driver, I don't know. Anyhow, it was this beautiful morning. I was driving my 3 kids to the École Maternelle. I dropped off the kids. We were living in a little village, a little bit outside of Brussels, so I dropped off the kids at the school. Then when I left from the parking lot, I realized there's something wrong with my car. And yeah, I had a flat tire. Again, a rusty nail. No problem. This was a company car, so I had a number to call for assistance. Less than an hour later, the assistant truck was there. Unfortunately, he didn't realize he couldn't tow my car, so he had to call for a larger truck to put my car on. Supposed to be there shortly. It took then 2 hours or so. Eventually, we moved then my car from the outskirts of Brussels towards downtown, where the partner garage was located. In the meantime, we hit midday traffic, so it was kind of busy. It took a while to get there. We did the paperwork, and I was then brought to the car rental partner garage, which was not too far away, so it was kind of southwest of Brussels, and where I was supposed to get a replacement car. Again, it was a bit busy, traffic. We got there, final paperwork, and I was on my replacement car to go to work. In the meantime, it was mid-afternoon. I was in the southwest of Brussels. My office is in the northeast, in Zaventem. In between is busy Brussels. There was no point to drive all the way up, so I went home. And at that point, I was still on a replacement car. So I lost the full day due to a rusty nail in the morning, and my car was still not fixed. So how long does it take to repair a punctured tire? A day, maybe 2? I mean, I called the partner garage every second day to understand where this project was, and it was a bit more complicated, so the tire shop had to replace both tires, left and right, at the same time. They required funding approval from the car fleet logistic company, so there was some negotiation going back and forth to find agreement. The right tires had to be sourced, then replaced, and finally the car was repaired and delivered 2 weeks later to my office. I never saw a bill. I can just imagine how expensive this rusty nail experience was. Do you see the irony here? Well, it's confusing. Why is the experience in Africa so much more pleasant and at a fraction of the cost. Why? It makes you think, is the development in the Western world going always in a good direction? Or is there eventually something we should look at in Africa? Let's have a closer look. So the starting point is the same. I have a company car and puncture a tire, somewhere in civilization, at least in both cases, so that was good. There is one fundamental difference. In Europe, I got from my employer a company car with full leasing, full service. I had literally nothing to do with the car. So in the breakdown situation, you switch off your brain and you follow the process. So all the involved people did the same. They just were focusing on navigating through that contractual landscape and to do what they're supposed to do. In Africa, I got a car allowance from my employer. So then every month I got the money from my employer and I had to get sorted myself. So I was the owner of the car. And in the incident, I did focus on fixing my car. So the few guys involved, they did the same. They saw my problem and were contributing to fix my car. Let's recap this visually. So this is my one-day journey in Europe. So leaving home, breakdown, getting with the assistant truck to the partner garage, then getting to the car rental partner, then getting the replacement car and home one day. In purple, you see my 2 weeks journey of the car. So getting to the tire partner, then the communication start with the fleet car logistic, the car eventually gets repaired and then delivered 2 weeks later to my office. In the African case, very straightforward. I'm a breakdown, change the wheels at the next pump station, fix the tire on the way home in the garage. 20 minutes later, I'm home, zero paperwork, all done. If we do a side-to-side comparison on this, and I know this is not statistically significant, it's just 2 cases. I simply don't have 100 breakdowns, lucky me. Nevertheless, when we look, I lost 1 day, then 2 weeks on a replacement car versus 20 minutes. Cost-wise, I don't know, I never saw a bill, but 2 new tires, 2 weeks on a replacement car, the towing, all the logistic and administration, maybe $3,000 could be a fair estimate, versus less than $10 in Africa. And at the end, my experience as a customer or victim in those cases, it was kind of a frustrating journey in Europe versus a pleasant African experience. So why is this important? To be in good shape for the future world, you may agree with me, we need to increase efficiency, we need to be more productive in our jobs, in our companies, even in our personal lives, to do all what we're supposed to care and do. And how do we do this? How do we achieve this? Yeah, we try to get organized, we standardize, we put processes in place, so we have clear roles and responsibilities. And yes, that worked well also in my European breakdown. That was a clear process. Everybody knew what to do, no problem. Was it efficient? No, not really. It was rather frustrating and expensive. And by the way, where I had the breakdown in Europe, there was a garage in walking distance. Eventually, they could have sorted me out and helped me right there on the spot. But I was not able to contact that garage because they were not part of the car fleet logistic partner network. On the other side, in Africa, no process. No, just humans. And fundamentally, people want to help. It feels good to help someone. The guys that helped me, they clearly enjoyed to help me. And probably it must have felt right and good to them to do so. So I truly believe less process and more personal responsibility can increase efficiency. There are many examples. One that you may know, is the bring your own device policy. BYOD. So this is about employees, laptops, and smartphones. More and more companies, even larger corporates, they introduce the bring your own device policy. So they pay an allowance to the employee, and then the employee is buying, leasing, renting, whatever device works best for them. Again, more personal responsibility to increase efficiency. Look, processes are essential for machines, but they don't leverage the amazing capability of humans. And there's one story, it's a while back when I was a student. I often got food from a fast food restaurant, and as students do so, I did an experiment for fun. So I always ordered the same thing, which was a Big Mac meal with orange juice to take away. And the interesting part was that in most cases, the waiter's response was small or medium-sized meal. Okay, medium-sized. Then the next question was, what to drink? I mean, I ordered the Big Mac meal with orange juice to take away. The next question was, to eat here or take away? Honestly, it's unbelievable. The waiter was just running through a scripted ordering process. I felt really sorry for them. They were not capable to listen, to capture a simple customer order. A Big Mac meal with orange juice to take away. It's really not complicated. So when you have been in those in this fast food restaurant recently, so you might have seen they put those, how they call it, self-ordering machines, and they work great. You still have the choice, so you can order with the human waiter, and actually I feel they have now a bit more space to listen to you and take your order with a smile, which is nice. Good, let's move back to our main question here. So process versus humanity. So on one side, we have the extraordinary human brain with emotional intelligence, with passion, and with the unmatched capability of solving diverse problems, with multiple goals in a dynamic context. Then on the other side, we have artificial narrow intelligence. So this is what we refer to with AI. AI is incredibly good in achieving particular goals in a particular environment by processing large amount of data and its learning capability. Then we had this hype of artificial general intelligence, AGI. So AGI is putting multiple capabilities together. It's basically moving this one algorithm from AI into one brain to be capable to tackle problems like a human. So last month, the MIT Technology Review published an article from Will Douglas where he was showing how far we are from AGI. Eventually, we will get there. Right now, no one has a clue what breakthrough will get us there. So, yeah, sorry, machines will not take over the world yet. Which is good. That makes our question here a little bit more simple. So if we have a problem to be solved, let's first ask ourselves what part humans can solve and what part machines. So when I think about my car breakdown, there's not really much a machine can solve. This is really for humans to help me on the road and to fix the tire. Now please, let's not put a bunch of processes on top of those humans. Otherwise we see how inefficient this has become, like in my European experience. Certainly, there are areas where machines can do a much better job. If you, let's say you need a new bank account, a machine with a proper process is probably much faster in opening a new bank account for you than any human at a bank possibly could do. Let's think about the burger restaurant experience. Who should take the order? Machine or human? Both can work. So the human waiter has still great value, but just not with a machine process on top of. That doesn't work good. So there are two things I would like you to take home from my talk. So the one is, no doubt, we need to increase efficiency as a society, and machines will greatly contribute to it with processes, with AI, and all the digital evolution to come. To leverage the extraordinary human being, processes may not be the best choice. Let's rather focus on creating an environment, eventually with some guardrails, where people can use their brains, hearts, and they will contribute with passion for a more efficient and pleasant future world. Thank you.